Hey guys, Youngblood with you, and at this point we're about 24 hours away from getting the Gamescom presentation from Chris Roberts and CIG, and I think it's important to kind of talk through a couple things that we know are not going to be in the presentation, and then we can kind of speculate a little bit on what we may end up seeing. So let's go ahead and get the negative out of the way. Chris Roberts confirmed that Squadron 42 is not going to be shown. We're not going to see information about like a vertical slice or a trailer or anything like that. He said that in the Gamescom conversation that he had. So it's something that we may end up getting more information on at SitCon, but they're not necessarily saying that it's going to be ready then either. They're waiting until it's ready, and they want to show it off when it's in a cinematic state. They're having some issues with the animations and the way characters are actually moving and reacting, so that is not going to be tomorrow. Procedural cities are things that we're not going to see as well. That was confirmed by Brian Chambers and Disco Lando. And finally, we're not getting any new information or going to see anything about the server mesh technology. Now, some things that we think are probably likely to be in the presentation, the 600i reveal from Origin. Now, what that ship ends up being, it's probably going to be a luxury touring craft, really focusing on speed, luxury, and maybe exploration with some overall multi-role capabilities. We do know the price is $400 or $435, depending on the model that you go with. But either way, that is going to probably be there. We've seen teasers leading up to it. We've got the whole 600 Reasons Why campaign happening, so I think that's highly likely. I think we might also get an updated plan for the release schedule of 3.0. Now, I don't think they're going to give us any firm dates because they've kind of backed away from doing that. Instead, are moving more into the burn down direction, giving us details on what the blockers are that are in place. So I wouldn't be surprised if we end up getting a more detailed version of what we've seen from Burndown with a really, here's what's in our way and here's what we think was going to be needed to fix it. Maybe we end up getting a tentative Evocati schedule, but again, we're just going to have to wait and see. But I would expect we get something in the Burndown / 3.0 schedule kind of category. I'm expecting to see some updates on professions outside of combat, and maybe the development along the way. So things like mining, refueling, and exploration, I think those are pretty likely. Now, we know mining's not going to be in 3.0. I'm not expecting the others to really be there either. But it would be cool to see what their development is, how they've progressed, and if they have an idea of when they're actually going to make it in, giving us some updates on that. I would expect to see a closer look at the new flight-ready ships. We've seen that in past Gamescoms and CitizenCom, so if something's going to be ready in the next release, they tend to show it to us in almost like a trailer. We've gotten some new videos on the Prospector and the Ursa, but I almost expect them to show those or take us through them individually. So I'm expecting to see one on the Cutlass Black, the Prospector, and the Ursa. I wouldn't be surprised if we get information, or more information, I should say, on planetary outposts, kind of like information on how we can actually use them, using them as spawn locations, what utilities they have in them, if their branding or type has any impact to us and what we need to know going into that. And then finally, I think it's pretty likely that we get information on the new game mechanics that'll be in 3.0. So piracy and bounty hunting and how criminality works, cargo handling, those sorts of things. You know, and regardless of whether that's in a ship, and then actually selling and updates on the new economy system. So I'm hoping we get some new updates on those game mechanics that we're going to be playing with pretty soon. Now, there's a couple things that I think fall into the might be in the presentation category. The first of which is maybe planetary tech. You know, that may be procedurally generated new locations that are not cities, using the star engine and the planetary technology and the soul editor, like all of those things that they've actually created. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some more information or get a first look at a different star system. I would really think it would be cool if we got our first look at a star in engine. So maybe in the Stanton system, you know, we know they're building it out. If they've got any progress on what they're actually doing with the main core of that system, I think that would be cool to see. And finally, Aaron Roberts mentioned in his interview that there's going to be something that he's proud of, but can't really say what it's going to be at this point. I think that's one of two things. I think it's either going to be capital ship combat, actually in engine. Maybe we see, you know, an Idris versus an Idris, or a Javelin versus an Idris, or something like that. Or we may end up seeing the announcement of that game changer ship that we've been seeing talked about over and over and over again. That may be something that sneaks in. So at the end of the day, we don't really know what it's going to be. We don't know what the presentation is going to hold. I would say kind of temper your expectations. We'll see what we get, and obviously we'll cover it a lot after we're done. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more, and have a great day. Take care.